What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Hope everybody's having a great day or night whenever you're watching this. I want to talk about the New York Jets football team, man. I love their roster as long as Aaron Rodgers stays healthy. I think they're a lock for the playoffs. I think, honestly, that they're probably going to win their division. This is all contingent upon Aaron Rodgers being healthy. So we're going to operate into that world, and we're going to think that he's coming back. And I think a lot of people really just straight up forgot how good he is at the quarterback position. I think he's still got a lot more tread on the tire. And I think the Jets fans are waiting on it, hoping and praying for it. And they look like they could be really, really good this year. So let's talk about them. Let me know in the comments if you agree that the Jets will make the playoffs, or let me know if you disagree that they won't make the playoffs. Let me know in the comments. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe if you like this kind of content. Please like the video. But I want to talk about why I think they're going to be so good. Obviously, you're going to start off Aaron Rodgers. That's the QB. A lot of people have straight up just forgot how good he is. It's that simple. At this point, he slept on, which is crazy for a several-time MVP. But it's coming off the injury. I understand the cause for concern. I get it. But he doesn't rely on being mobile. It's not really his game, so I think he'll be all right. And the main reason I think he's going to be all right is they revamped their O-line completely. They brought in Olu Fashanu. They bring in Tyron Smith, who's a Hall of Famer. They bring in John Simpson from the Ravens. Those are three pieces that are going to just add the beef to your offensive line that is going to make you so much better. And outside of Aaron Rodgers really appreciating that, Breece Hall is really going to appreciate that. That guy last year had almost 1,600 scrimmage yards and 9 TDs with no QB, no threat of throwing the ball, and nothing on the O-line. Now he's got a revamped O-line. He's got his QB back. There's a threat of throwing the ball. And he still averaged 4.5 yards a carry last year in games where the other teams just knew it was him or it. That was it. That was all they had to worry about. So I think Breece is going to be a breakout candidate for this next season. And he's another year removed from that ACL injury. So that's another thing that typically it takes a couple of years to come back from one of those ACL injuries to being either what you were before or better. So, and I think he's young too, so it makes a lot of sense. Braylon Allen that they got in the draft is a freaking tank at running back. So you have a little bit of you got a lot of juice in your running back room. So that's nice. And then you have Garrett Wilson lined up outside. That's a top 5 talent wide receiver who hasn't had a top 30 QB throw him the ball yet. I can't wait to see what he does because he's a freaking monster. He puts up numbers with bums. Imagine what he's going to do if Aaron Rodgers is healthy. The O-line is blocking for him. This is an easy 1,500 yards and 10 plus TDs if everything goes the way it's supposed to. You bring in Mike Williams, take a flyer on him, who's a big play monster, but he is coming off the ACL injury, kind of blew the whole knee out. Kind of curious as to how he'll be. Alan Lazard's back. The receiving core, outside of Garrett Wilson, it's not illustrious or anything like that, but I think it's competent. But when you have a top 5 talent wide receiver, all you need is competent and average behind him, and you'll be okay. Conklin as a tight end, solid. But the defense, right? The defense held it down last year, and they still look like they're going to be a top 3 or 4 defense in the NFL. We're going to go down the depth chart for the defense, and I'm going to tell you where the weak spot is. Just a hint here, there isn't one. On the D-line, and I'm just going to read off names, and if you don't know who they are, I'll kind of explain them a little bit to some of them. Jermaine Johnson had a great year last year. Javon Kinlaw was loved by the Niners. Quinnen Williams might be the best D-tackle in the entire league. Hassan Reddick, if they get his contract thing figured out, almost won Defensive Player of the Year 2 years ago, was great last year with an injury. He's a monster. He's a freaking monster. Will McDonald has potential. Solomon Thomas is a vet. I haven't even got to the linebackers. I haven't even got there yet, and I've already named like 6 dudes who are like competent quality players or even better. Linebacking core. CJ Mosley is a dog. He's a monster. He's a top 10 linebacker in the league. Quincy Williams might be better than him. But there's probably a big argument that he is better than him. Quincy Williams is a freaking baller. That's awesome. And then you get to the secondary where these dudes probably had the best cornerback duo in the entire NFL. Sauce Gardner, there's a great argument that he's the best corner in the league. I'm not going to make that argument, but I think he's definitely in the top 3. I think that's fair. DJ Reed, all pro. Like, what else can you really say there? And he's the cornerback 2 on the team. Tony Adams, solid. Chuck Clark, highly sought after, was a Raven, was a baller there. You've got juice everywhere on the defense. Scoring on them is going to be a pain in the ass yet again. All they needed last year was just something from the QB play, and they didn't get it. Now you got Aaron Rodgers back and healthy. You made the right investments into bolstering your O-line. Breece Hall is another year removed from that ACL. Garrett Wilson is a dog no matter who's throwing him the ball, and now he's going to get a former multi-MVP throwing him the ball, hopefully healthy. This has got the recipe for greatness here. And another thing, when you kind of go through it, obviously, in order to win the division, you have to win games. And the schedule, I looked over their schedule, and I think they really have 7 tough games. 7 tough toss-up games. These are games that I think either team could win. And the other games on their schedule, the other 10, I think they're pretty solid for, winning 8 or 9 of them. Right. I think they're pretty good bets. But you're going to have an upset here and there. It's going to happen. But those 7 games, the 7 tough ones, week 1 against the Niners. Niners are just awesome. That team is built almost perfectly. So that's a tough game. That's a toss-up. That's a tough game. Niners probably get that one, just being completely honest. Week 6 against the Bills. I think and this is a spoiler, any game with the Bills and Dolphins is a toss-up. Those 2 teams are good teams. I don't think either of them are elite, but they're good teams. And me personally, I think that those games are going to get split. The Jets will win one, and the other teams will win one. I think that's an okay estimation. You're going to play the Rams in Week 16. That's going to be a tough game, on paper at least. Rams were really nice last year. They're up and coming. They're young, which is kind of crazy. Week 9, you have the Texans. That's going to be one of the best teams in the league, in my opinion. And outside of that, so you have the Niners, the Bills twice, the Dolphins twice. So that's 5 games. And then there's the Rams and the Texans. 7 toss-up games. If you can even go 3-4 or 4-3 in those 7 games, 3-4 I think is moderate. I think that could be like the bar. You're looking at being, let's say you're 3-4, and then the other 10 games you're 8-2, or whatever number that comes out to be. You're probably somewhere right around 11 or 12 wins, which is going to make the playoffs. And in my opinion, is going to win the division. But let me know in the comments, am I delusional for choosing the Jets to win this division after we've seen the Bills dominate for years, the Dolphins be on the up and coming, Tua just got paid, congrats to him. But I like the Jets. I think people are slept on Aaron Rodgers at this point in his career. And there's a lot of good things. If Aaron is healthy, I'm so confident. They have Tyrod as a backup. He can step in for a game or 2. And I wouldn't be like, oh no, the world is falling, the sky is falling. But ultimately, they got to get it done. They got to stay healthy. And if they're healthy, and particularly if Aaron is healthy, that's a 12-win team. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe if you like this kind of content. Please like the video. But I'm hyped up on the Jets yet again. I got let down last year, 4 plays in. Let's hope it doesn't happen again this year. So thanks for watching. I'm done. Peace.